Hello, welcome everybody. We're about to go live. No one can hear you guys yet, but welcome everybody. We're about to start today's race with JSM, the GT3 community event. Qualifying as free, they're in free practice, but let's go check them out on track, and we're going to have a chat to some of the drivers just before they get out and qualify. So
Garcia's doing some serious laps. I don't think he needed to do this many. See how his tires will be. Oh no. He did 9, so I guess he's at about the 20 minute mark.
alrighty guys, welcome. Oh, can you hear me? No, hang on. They can't hear me in Discord yet because Discord. Is this working?
Could do it.
Wow.
I'm sure you saw the message. I don't know if everyone will abide by it today. Hey, how are you?
Good. It's on the wrong microphone. Give me a second. Everyone else
Sure.
can hear us though. But we are live, guys. Yeah, I've got 2 microphones working now. How crazy is this? Hang on. So Discord has decided to change my default music. There we go. Alright. That should be better. Alright, so yeah, we're live. Who have we got? Mr. Menace is that Falcon?
It is.
Oh, hang on. You're really quiet, so just turn you up. So Falcon,
Hey.
how have you been? We haven't seen you race for a few weeks, but yeah, how have you approached today's race at least?
Oh, I'm just gonna try and be as consistent as I can. I'm not the fastest guy. I'm still, learning a lot of things about the car and about racing in general. So I'm just gonna take what I've learned from practicing this track this week and try and put it to good use, and just try my best to be consistent.
Yeah, we saw you a few weeks ago. We saw you spin out quite impressively, and you had quite the comeback. Do you remember much of that moment?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the Zandvoort race.
That's it.
Yeah, it was just there's a little bit of net code there with the guy behind me, and I just kind of had to slow down real quick at that turn. It bumped me, and luckily I was spun around in such a way that I could get back on the track real quick. And yeah, I was pretty happy with my driving that night because I stayed fairly consistent. I think I only made like 1 or 2 other little mistakes after that. So yeah, that was pretty fun though.
Are you a fan of Formula One at all?
I am. I haven't been keeping up with it really close this season, but I watch the Drive to Survive on Netflix, and I get into it, and I watch a few minutes of race coverage, every week.
Oh, so you didn't see the Imola race this past weekend just gone?
No, I just saw like little tidbits of it, but I don't really remember.
I was just going to say, because they were out in the wet, but obviously we don't have wet conditions here today. But Imola, you've obviously had to practice a fair bit. Is there a part of the circuit where you're still not quite 100%? Because there's always something for everyone.
Yeah, Aqua Mineral and the chicane after that.
Yep.
Those are hard spots. And the last time I did a race here, the last 2 turns, Ravazzo 1, I think, is that what it's called?
Yep, close enough.
Yeah, that one used to get me bad, but this whole week I've learned something. I think at Zandvoort I learned how to whip the car around a little bit.
Right.
I learned how to turn in better, and
Yep.
So far this week, knock on wood, Ravazzo 1 has not killed me yet.
Have you learnt that
And,
through JSM? Because I know at least the guys amongst this crew that...
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Snake helped me out a lot with Zandvoort, and I've been able to carry that through to the rest of my racing, just learning how to rotate the car and get speed out while still, maintaining control. Yeah, it's helped out a lot.
That's nice. Yeah, so obviously finding this group of guys at JSM has worked out for the best, at least for one turn. You've learnt a new trick.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what keeps you here?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm good friends with Snake and a bunch of these guys on the JSM team, and we practice together, drive around multiple times a week, and just learn the tracks together and learn things from each other, and it's real helpful.
I like it. Well, I mean, qualifying's not too far away, but are you going to be running 3 sets today? Because I know people had to run a certain amount. Or are you one of the 2
yeah,
sets?
So I just practiced on the 3rd set, and so I'll qualify on set 1 and start the race on set 2, and then when I do my tire change, I'll go back to the quali set.
All right. Well, thanks for having a chat. I'm sure we'll see more of you in the future, and maybe a podium here or there in the not too distant future as well.
I would hope so. Thanks a lot for covering our races, and it's been a blast.
It has. It's plenty more to come, so thank you. That was Mr. Falcon, everybody. We've got a few guys lined up in the interview room, so I just want to get to them because I've got some quali to do. Garcia, Mr. Blue Cheese on Discord, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, Imola. What about? I'll start with you. Are you an F1 fan?
I am. Yeah.
So
big fan.
Did you see the race this weekend?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, very eventful.
It was. I'm sure you're glad it's not a wet race because that didn't look like a lot of fun, especially off the start.
No. Yeah, that was a. It was a rough start, but then in those conditions, you can see who the drivers that really shine.
Yeah.
Like Max Verstappen, for example.
So, are you one of the believers that a wet race is a true leveler for all racing?
Well, I'm a huge Ayrton Senna fan, so yes.
Fair enough. Yes. He's got quite a history here at Imola as well, obviously.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a connection. Have you done a lot of time yourself around this track? Because Imola, in the sense on like sim games, it doesn't really get a lot of showtime. So, yeah. Have you done a lot of practice? I've done a fair amount. Not as much as some other tracks, but yeah, it's a track that I like. So whenever I have an opportunity and we can configure a server to it, I like to get a few laps around it. Nice. And yeah, what's your most enjoyable part of Imola? Because that's where we are today.
Right. I really like the 3rd sector. As you get to the to the chicane and then that big straight, the last section, that might not seem, but at first, but it's technical. The 2nd sector is very technical too. That's the part that I like the most.
And what do you think? Because like Monza, we have that first chicane, and everyone has to be quite careful, and it's a meme these days. Does Imola?
Right.
Do you think Imola has that same issue coming into the first? That first chicane just off the start? Those 600 meters or whatever it is?
I think it can be. I think we have very few situations that would be as bad as Monza in that configuration because of the long straight and the heavy braking and how tight that chicane is. But I don't think this one is quite as difficult, but it's certainly a challenge, yeah. As we saw on the Formula 1 race last weekend.
Yeah, of course. And I was just... Sorry, Garcia, I've completely lost my track of thought. I've got too many things going in my ears at once. I don't know if that happens to you on track. Like, because obviously you've got a plan tonight.
Right.
Does that ever... Do you ever get to a point that in the race, or has it ever happened to you where you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know if I should change... Am I refueling? Am I changing tyres? Am I coming in this lap? Have you worked with an engineer? Like, yeah. How does that unfold?
So usually, That can happen. It happened to me. I remember a very something that happened quite recently on a race around Misano where the weather was changing so much
Yep.
that you couldn't really plan for anything from free practice to quality to race. Everything changed. So the weather was extremely dynamic.
Yep.
And in that situation, you can get caught thinking, "What am I gonna do?" Right? Um, I do like to have a plan A and plan B for each race. So most races I'll be um, set on what my strategy is, but certainly with dynamic weather, things can change and they will change.
Yeah, of course. So does that mean you have a? Do you? Because I was telling a lot of people last couple of weeks that forgotten his name now, but he's a sim racer and he does his wet setup first. Is that? Have you got a certain way of attacking your weekend? So he'll do his wet setup and then he'll focus on the dry. Is there a set process for you?
No, I do the other way around. I usually make sure I have my dry setup dialed in because that'll work. At least for me, it works on both dry and greasy or damp track.
Yeah.
I will use that and I'll work on the wet setup after that. Unless I know it's gonna be, unless I know that for that particular race the forecast is majorly the majority of it is gonna be rain, then I'll do the wet setup.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference. Obviously, in the professional sense, they try not to give. Well, obviously, they try not to give too much away. There's obviously, but at the grassroots where we're sitting, it's a lot better to sort of allow the drivers that information ahead of time. So, I mean,
Right.
yeah, you've got that there. Now, just quickly with JSM, how did you find this crew of drivers? Obviously, there's a lot of leagues out there, but how'd you land here?
So, so actually, me and Snake were the ones that started JSM. We started racing together, talking and talking about about the skill level of some of the public lobbies, and then after that we decided to start our own lobby, and then we basically rented the server that we have right now, started organizing a few races, and then the idea of organizing a group came up, and then from there it took off, and we're making some really good
I have a feeling
progress. We have a bunch of nice people here.
I have a feeling I've asked you that, but I've written down here Garcia co-founder, so that's I won't forget that in the future.
There's one thing we're missing really that's heavy from this story.
This is Snake, by the way.
We actually we were introduced to each other because we were on a race together.
Yep.
And there were two Bentleys on the track. And one of the Bentleys took me straight into a wall, and I thought it was him. So I messaged him, and I said, "Why did you do that? I couldn't, you didn't have to do that." And I think what did you say? I think he was just like, "It wasn't me." And then I said, "Oh, you know what? It wasn't. It was the other guy." And then I sent him a friend request after, and that's how we started racing.
Right. And then we started talking about how we both really value clean racing and good sportsmanship and things like that, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, well, it's good that we got both of the founders here. So yeah, where do you want to take it from here now that we've gotten this far with you got the server now, you got the drivers now, you got the Discord? What's the future?
Me and Snake have been talking about that. Yeah, go ahead, Snake.
Garcia and I, and even some of the other team members, were constantly talking about the plans for the future. I think we got very lucky with the attendance the last couple of weeks. I'm pretty sure you had a lot to do with that with the stream. I think people like the commentary, and there's also viewership, and I think we showed what this community stands for. I think even with the low, I think we only had maybe 13 guys or 12 guys in that race. We put on a pretty good show. And one thing that JSM is always going to do is we're going to do our best to stand by what the community stands for. We want people to learn racing as close to the real life counterpart as possible, and we do that by implementing as many of the GT rules as we possibly can. And the only thing that really hinders us is the penalty system. You know, there's no live stewarding. You can't really do that in here, only on PC. But I've seen, as my experience with the sim grid, it's definitely possible to do live stewarding, and I hope it comes with the PS5 version. So a lot of the sim elements and the real life elements we can definitely blend together, and we want to welcome people to join the community and know that we're not going to necessarily make it more of a game. We're going to bring as much sim to it as possible. And we're also very big on multi-class driving. And when I say that, I mean like the class of driver. We're not going to be one of those communities that only has quick guys or has different splits, one for quick, one for slow. We want everyone to be a piece of it, because in real life, that's what they do. You do see Pro-Am and Am and Pros all on the same track at the same time. Back markers do play a role. It's part of it.
Yeah.
It can make a race very, very interesting.
On
you know,
that,
especially.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt, but on that, okay, there's this attitude amongst sim racing where I'm the faster driver, you get out of my way. And I made it last week when I had the Bathurst 120. I made it very clear that I wanted the faster guys to be the ones responsible for making the pass clean. Obviously, the slower guy's still learning. You know, he's trying to do his lines or whatever. Yes, he's got to be aware that he's got a blue flag, but the fast guy, if he's got to go offline to make a pass, that's what needs to happen. I don't know what you feel about that. How do you feel about that?
It's the actual rule. Contrary to Formula One, blue markers don't have to get out of the way. You know, the faster driver is responsible for making a clean pass.
So you're like sticking to the GT.
100%.
Like
all these rules can be implemented into the game. It's a question of whether or not you have the community that will abide by them or be okay with them. That's why we are kind of selective with who we pick, you know, that we have in this group. They have to be people that can go about this. But where I will come into this, like, GT racing is a business at the end of the day, and one thing they care about the most is the people watching it. And the people watching it want to see, you know, they want to be excited, they want to enjoy it. They're not here to just watch a train of people just driving, you know, along the track. That's pretty boring if you ask me. And in order to do that, they create a balancing system where they have all these different tiers of drivers on the track at the same time. And with that, they have rules specific to that. Even, for instance, a pro driver cannot hit an AM driver. They just can't. They're not allowed to. They'll be penalized for it. And I'm sorry, Garcia, if you want to go to qualifying, you can, because I know there's only 10 minutes. I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, Garcia, by the way. Learned a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
So Snake,
go
away. Take it away.
We want to bring as much as this into it, because the reality of it is the drivers and the people watching the streams are going to enjoy it a lot more, you know, when these things are implemented. And a lot of sim drivers may not like some of those rules, and we may not be the community for them. That's completely understandable, you know. But like I said before, this community stands by trying to bring as much as the real life element to the game, because this is not a sport like basketball, for instance, where the techniques are done with a controller. You know, you are sitting here with a wheel, you are sitting here with pedals, and for the most part, and
any
the
controller
techniques.
drivers amongst them, or are they all wheels?
One. We have one.
Yeah.
LSE or ISE, I think, because of the way the name looks. He was in the race with SFR the other day. We have, I believe we have one. I myself was on a controller for some time in between the switch. When COVID happened and I was trying to get another wheel, I couldn't get one. So I raced on a controller for about 9 months. So, but yeah, we are a community that's open to beginners, you know, but we definitely want to have a certain level of beginner too. You know, people that do understand racing to a degree, they just want to get better technique and have a little bit more fun. But JSM will always stand by the fact that this is going to be fun and exciting before anything, because any real competitor out there is going to tell you that their love for it, their passion for it, and their fun and the fun that they have is what makes them more competitive. So we're always going to stand by that. You know, we're going to try. And I do want to announce that we're starting our first official championship at the first week of June. Our evaluation races start, I believe it would be May 11th and 16th, somewhere around that. It's in the Discord, or 4th and 11th. We're going to have 2 evaluation races. I think that's the 5th and the 12th to everyone in Australia.
Yeah.
So the sign-ups start now. We understand that there might be some people that may not be able to do an evaluation. We're going to have entry rules for them as well. There will be possibility. And part of that, the way that we set up the championship as well, is we want to make sure it is fun and exciting. So we are going to be mixing sprint and endurance in it. There will be a kickoff at Bathurst for 2 hours, and then we'll do a couple of sprints, then another endurance, couple of sprints, another endurance. And to make sure everyone is not making too much of a big deal out of it, we are going to make sure that the guys get time off in between, you know, because we know that they're in other leagues, they have lives, you know, things like that.
Yep.
And but it's going to be exciting. There is a cash prize. There is no entry fee to join, and there's going to be a lot more like these to come. This is kind of a test to see how we can do it. But a lot of planning, a lot of work came into at least planning it. We have a lot of fun tracks, a lot of events. No one will know the tracks until day of, to make sure that it is fair to everyone as far as free practice is concerned.
That's an interesting concept. Not many do that.
Yeah, and live weather as well. We'll use the live day track weather. We won't really necessarily know if it's going to rain, but we will, you know, we'll put a forecast up.
So does that mean I can sit here with the live weather radar of wherever you're racing, and we're going to see that happen?
Yeah, I mean,
happen in real time.
The game doesn't let us go that far on the console.
Right.
You could get pretty close, but if there are ways to manipulate it pretty closely, you know, as far as, you know, cloud percentage and things like that. So we're gonna do our best with that, but we'll know that maybe, hey, there's a chance of rain, but that doesn't mean it's going to rain. You know, that's why they call it a chance.
Yeah.
Unless I believe it's over 60%, then we know it will rain. That's usually the case in the game.
So we can at
but
least
these are
look
all
at it. Sorry, so we can at least look at it and be like, okay, this is we got maybe it's going to rain today. So, you know, let's cross our fingers and see.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And people will have to be prepared for it. And that's kind of why, you know, that's part of the premise of what we're going for here. We want people, when they go into free practice, to be using it wisely. You know, it's not just about finding pace. It's about making sure your car's set up, making sure you got your reference points down, and to make it fair for everyone too. So that's why we're not going to be running practice servers for a whole week. I myself won't even know the track because I'm going to be using a randomizer to pick it.
Watch that cause a controversy. I'm just...
Yeah. So I had to do something like that because obviously I don't want to have any kind of advantage over anyone.
Yep.
So I figured a randomizer would be a good choice. The endurance races, since we're not 100% sure on attendance, there'll be a separate series, but still part of the championship. But all the prizes will be based off of pretty much the sprint series. But one thing we want to make a point with that championship is it is for everybody. It's not just going to be for the fast guys. There will be a best in Pro-Am award, a best in Am award, and maybe even a most improved. What those awards are, we don't want to tell anybody because I think they'd really appreciate what they are. But we definitely want to give every driver that comes in here an incentive to keep coming and keep, you know, trying to get better.
Absolutely. I just got to ask quickly because my game is bugged out. How many minutes do we have left in qualifying?
4.
4 minutes. Okay. Sorry, guys, watching. I know we've been stuck on gel speed, and no offense, gel speed, but I wanted to watch a lot of other people, but I can't. I got to back out of the game and reset it. So I'm just going to wait until the game starts now. But we'll just talk to Snake until then. So unless you're going to do qualifying in 4 minutes, it's up to you.
No. It's it was definitely I wanted to make a point to come out here and answer any questions. This isn't necessarily about where I start or anything like that. It's still fun at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I just want to say hello and welcome everyone in the chat. Sorry, I am here and watching. Josh says happy 420 to all. That's, I think, when the championship starts. Alco says good stuff, Snake. We've got Jamer saying sup, Alco. Alco also saying yeah, yo. I don't know what that's about. Some sort of... You guys in the chats, they always start talking about in jokes that I have absolutely no idea about. And I look like an idiot at the end of the day.
I don't even know about those, to be honest. So those are new to me, and those are two guys that are in JSM, so I don't even know.
There you go.
That's what makes it even funnier.
I think that's the good thing about having a good community too. Everyone just becomes good friends at the end of the day, especially when it's run well. I'm guessing you haven't had too many issues yet because you're quite new compared to some other leagues. But yeah, there's going to be bumps and, you know.
Right. To go with that, I think you make a really good point. You know, as you know, like I own a marketing and business consultative agency, and we work with a lot of startups as well. And one thing we always tell our clients, you know, is that that vision is really important to stick to. You have to keep your consumer in mind, but you still have to stick to your vision, because that's what controls the types of clients you have, or customers, I should say. And in this case, you know, when we see people that we want to recruit, there's definitely a handful of things that we factor in. Obviously, we want them to at least have a skill level above, if you're going out of 0 out of 100, at least above 50. You know, we want to know that they're willing to learn, that they're coachable. But I think honestly, at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we get along. You know, because we don't want guys in here that are arguing with each other, and that there's no way to prevent it. That may happen at some point, but
it'll
the more we can control it, right, the better it's going to be. But it's definitely important that we have guys that get along, guys that want to have fun and I'll tell you, we're very competitive with each other regardless. You know, Garcia and Murr are constantly chasing each other in some way, and I have AJ, who I'm always chasing, even though he's, you know, you've seen it in the last race. Him and I really went at it at Zandvoort. So, but I think the fact that we all get along, we're all willing to help each other and communicate is what makes it even more exciting. I mean, there's no going off on people just because of an accident and things like that, because the guys that are in this community understand that those things are going to happen. We're not going to kick you out because of an accident, but there will be a race penalty. Absolutely, those things will exist, but you're not getting kicked out because you made a mistake. If anything, that's a learning opportunity. Now, if you're not receptive to that learning, then we're not a fit for you, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, definitely we have to stick to our vision and what we're trying to do, and find the people, because they're there. You know, there's thousands and thousands of people that are on this game, you know, maybe not all at once, but we can find them. You know, we just have to make sure that we're not just taking them just because we can. You know, we want to have quality over quantity any day.
Absolutely. Raz, yes, I will change camera. It's bugged out. I got to wait until the end of qualifying. So once qualifying's done, sorry we didn't get the coverage I usually do, but that's ACC. Go blame 505 and D3, whatever bloody people that, you know, ported it over on the console. We deserve better, and that means you as well watching at home. So yes, we will. There you go. End of the qualifying right there. I think that's about it, Snake. I'm going to reset things and let you get comfortable. But thank you for having the chat. I'm sure we'll have a chat at the end of the race.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a couple of people in here at the end of the race, and we're looking forward to it. I hope everybody enjoys it.
I hope they do too. All right, I'll let you go. And yes, actually, let's get reset. So yeah, what happens, guys, is the game, we went from free practice, and usually, sometimes, it doesn't do this, and it just lets me do my thing. For some reason, it did the thing where I've lost all control. I can't even change camera, and I don't know why it does that. It's quite frustrating. So what I got to do now, I got to wait until, well, I might as well just wait until we load up into the race, and then they do a formation lap, because if I reset now and I get back in, it'll just bug out again and I'll have to reset again. So I'm just gonna have to wait. Sorry? Oh, Snake's still here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll hop out.
No, you're right, mate.
Thanks. We'll see you soon.
We will. Yeah. So we've been watching Gel Speed. I don't know if he's put in a time or not yet. That's just really interesting. He must have been exceeding track limits somewhere. Does he get a time in here at the end? He doesn't, unfortunately. So it looks like he'll start at the back with Snake, who also didn't put a time down. So we know Gel Speed from SFR, but this is the JSM community race. And Garcia, one of the co-founders here, he's up the top there with Fafito in the Ferrari. Paulie, Rushton, and Boosted got the top 5. And Catch, I don't know how he does it. He always manages to get about 6th place in these events. So king of consistency there in 6th. And we're talking to Falcon. Just at the start of the stream, he's there in 8th place. Alrighty, we just got to wait now until this one switches over. And we'll reset. But yeah, there we go. So I'll start a timer. I will back out. So welcome along, guys. Now I close down the application and I reset it. PlayStation's reminding me to download my monthly game, so don't forget to do that yourself. Don't forget as well, we've got a Discord, and it's much easier if you want to join our Discord. D1GDiscord.com. So Demo 1 Garage is the name of our channel. So D1G is our shorthand for Demo 1 Garage. So D1GDiscord.com. It'll magically take you to an invite. And if you already are a member of the Discord, it'll actually just load up Discord in the browser for you. So it's a really quick shortcut if you don't have the app. Just type in d1gdiscord.com. There you go. Jamer says he downloaded Days Gone. Yeah, no, I just downloaded it last night. And I haven't downloaded it, I just added it to my library. But I'm yet to play it, so if you guys say it's a lot of fun, then it must be. So we're just about to get the race started here. You ready? You'll hear an alarm go off, and that's my alarm to join the server. One day I'll have to show you the back, the sort of behind the scenes of what happens. There's a lot that goes on, and I'm surprised I'm able to take it all in. Which is why sometimes I go a little quiet, because I'm reading or looking at a different screen. But you guys are pretty cool with that. And I don't mean to. But it's funny, when I rewatch the streams back, I can definitely tell when I was looking at a screen. There you go, there's the alarm. So let's join. One Wing, what's going on? You guys just missed the race. That's okay. You get to watch it. Yeah, I thought, J-Mo, you were on the going list, but here we go. Tonight's race. At Imola. Let's take you to the track, because they're just starting. So here we are at Imola. AKA Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari, aka Imola. Permanent racing circuit which held the 1980 Italian Grand Prix and all subsequent runnings of the San Marino Grand Prix until 2006. And then we saw COVID happen in 2020 and 2021. And JSM are here tonight as well. Loving the tunes, Judger. I've also got... This is a loop, yeah? And I've got 2 more loops from this song that it loops from. So, yeah, one day I'm going to get the... I'm going to up my audio game. But we are just waiting now. Everyone warming the tyres. You know what's crazier? GT4 don't use tyre blankets. I do apologise. I don't know if GT3 do or not. I know that GT4 don't. But obviously the drivers don't wear their tyres cooling down on this lap. So that lateral movement can keep the heat in the tyres. And keep it grippy to the road. Catches move to 5th. Thank you, Vic. Welcome along, mate. So we've dropped someone. Paulie, for some reason, he mustn't hit drive because he's in the pit lane. So Ravazza 1 and 2. So Ravazza 1 and 2. We're coming along the straight now. Here we go. We're going to get this race started. 15 turns. GT3 do. We're about to get the race started with the JSM GT3 race at Imola. It's Garcia and Fafito. Let's see what happens. We're going green.
Green light. Give it all you got.
There we are. The racing begins, and it's Garcia and Fafito up into turn number 1 and 2. It's a left-hander into a chicane, and hopefully the field will slide through. We've got somebody out in the wide. Was that awesome? Paulie? Few guys cutting the corner on the inside. It was Felipe doing the same thing. Gelspeed gets out. Snake's all good. Shake bait as well. Sorry, shark bait. He's moved up a few positions. It looks like Mr. Falcon. The game will sort itself out once we go through the sectors. That was the car we saw. Arc Angle Apache and Mile Blue. Another one off the side there. Well into the gravel trap. That's a Bentley. That looks like, yes, it was Denim. 014. What a shame for him. What a crazy start. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Had the thing freeze. So, yeah, my computer froze and I had to reset. So apologies about that. If that ever I think yeah, Garcia is gone. He's 4.2 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and the Bentley driver is just... What is it with the guys that choose 666 on the side? They're just demons on the track. Demons on the track. But thanks for hanging around. I think everyone was a little bit... didn't know what to do there, only because we've never really had a frozen stream for so long. It's amazing. So thank you for hanging around. If that ever happens again, I will come back. I've got it set up so the stream won't actually end. It'll just freeze and then, yeah, reset once it's reconnected. So Catch is on the back of Herc 99 in that Lexus here. And he's given him something to think about. Gel Speed also on the back end of his teammate as well, pushing him along. There's quite a lot of pressure now starting to form in this little group. And as... Oh, no way! He's got to go up the inside. Catch will just have to let... Oh! I think Catch was a little caught out. And Gel Speed... Well, Gel Speed regains his position. Let's have a quick look if we caught it. So here we go. Gel Speed saw... He was a little far away, wasn't he? Come in hot. Got the thing pulled up in time. And then, yeah, there was no room for Catch on that inside there. He was already on the curbs. So I can't blame him. So Gel Speed back up and racing. Mile Blue as well. He's on the back of Felipe. This is Lex's first Mercedes power coming in through the first turn up to turn 2. Side by side. And I think Lexus, that's Mile Blue. Oh, massive! Huge contact. I don't know how Felipe... That was so similar to what we saw in the Formula 1. I can't stress how similar that accident was to what we saw on the Formula 1 on the weekend. So, Valtteri Bottas on the left-hand side. He doesn't hit the grass, though. Oh, that looks like that was netcode more than anything. But that's going to be a big repair bill for Mile Blue. It's going to be a lot of time in the pit lane. He won't be too impressed with that. Back up to Gel Speed and his charge through the order now. He's chasing Rushton, who's got ahead of him. Oh, Snake's quick. Snake, I think Snake likes the challenge from starting at the back because he's quite a talented driver. He's definitely got the ability. Mukhtiar Ali, thank you for following. Welcome along to the crew here at Demo 1. So good to have you. Don't forget you can join our Discord, guys. d1gdiscord.com. Thank you, Dimos, for following as well. A lot of new names popping up. I'm so glad that you're enjoying today's action. I do apologize for the frozen stream. Sandiango Color. Sorry, but welcome and thanks for following. So Catch just chasing Herc. And there's a good squabble forming. Herc and that Lexus got his sights set on Falcon Zero ahead of him. The gap slowly opening up. It's up to about a second, as you can see now. Thank you, Raz. I try to make my casting professional, but I like to engage with you guys at the same time. So if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to add them. I am reading constantly. So, Herc here. He's not too pressured at least. So, the Lexus driver calm, under pressure. Maybe Herc will be that guy that we see in the future that can just take all sorts. Mr. Falcon Zero, look at the gap he's opened up now. 1.1. We're going to get a new timing sector in just a second. Unfortunately, those intervals aren't live. They update every time they go across a timing sector. And as you can see, Catch just falling off a little. Gel Speed, he's starting to push his way back forward now. Rushton 2-4. It's going to be AMG versus AMG. And because Garcia took the 666, Gel Speed had to go to 667. He usually wears 666 when he races with SFR. But with the JSM community today, we had quite a hectic start as well. There's a lot happening. Here we go, Gel Speed. No DRS, because this is GT3 racing. But he's going to be on the left-hand side, which is the inside. Very deep on the brakes. Inside for the next turn. And jumps the sausage curbs. And for Gel Speed, that's just as it was. Status quo. He remains 8th place. So, that is just going to lose him time. Joel Speed's got to maybe just sit back, relax, and let the race come to him. So back to our 3. Now, this is the battle for 4th as it unfolds. I like to say catch is catching, but I think Herc, my bad, Herc, number 14, is doing a superb job of just racing to the conditions. 48 minutes left. It's a 60-minute sprint race. So I can't believe we've already done 12 minutes. I don't know about you guys at home, but yeah, that time's gone flying by. Don't forget as well to keep a close eye on the driver by the end of today's race that you think deserves driver of the day. I'd like to hear what you guys think, or at least your thoughts on who you think is driving well tonight. Garcia, way up the front there. Look at the gap he's got. He's on 7 laps in. 7.2 seconds is the latest interval between him and Fafito in the Ferrari. He is just unmatched at this point in time. I'm sure once the JSM Championship opens up, I'm sure we're going to see some Garcia-like drivers starting to put the pressure on. But that's the whole point of this league, at least, is get your abilities up pretty high that you can, you know, drive consistently. Garcia's got consistency and quickness ticked. Gumbro, let's have a look. Gumbro down in 10th. So, how do you know Gumbro, Greg? We always have friends, fathers, mothers, grandparents, brothers, sisters, all sorts of people watching. What's your relationship to Gumbro here? He's in 5th. Number 13. Unlucky for some. Doesn't look like it's too bad for Gumbro, at least. So back to Gel Speed. He's still behind Rushton. Oh, that's got to be netcode, surely. Yeah, Rushton's disappeared. Look at, yeah, you can see that red line next to Rushton's name, and he's off in the centre up there. Not good. Let's just have a quick replay. This is what it looked like. It was a little awkward. Watch Rushton's car. It sort of just jumps left and right. Left, right. Then it sort of fades out. I think he was in the middle of a spin, actually. So that's what happened to him there. So Catch still piling the pressure on Herc. 99. But these guys look like they're just comfortable where they are at the moment. Do have a yellow flag. That's cleaned up. 45 minutes left. Track temp is 33. It's getting quite hot out there. That's 33 degrees Celsius. Oh no, for Herc. Off into the gravel. Outside turn 3. That was the pressure from Catch. And it all boiled over there. So Herc falls to 5th. Catch now chasing Falcon Zero up to 4th. So the fight for 4th begins. A little bit of overdriving for Catch there, but he'll get away with that. But just remember, they can't exceed track limits too often. Otherwise, they will receive the black and white flag and start receiving penalties for that. Ah, you work with Gumbro. Well, there you go. Thanks, Greg. Gumbro, 4.4 seconds away from Snake. And that is Snake in that black and green. Sorry, in that red Ferrari just ahead. So that's actually, yeah, about 4.4. Looks like Awesome Paulie's about to arrive inside Gumbro's aft. Awesome Paulie, we know, is quick. I think he had some issues at the start. I'm not so sure. I'm expecting a lot from Awesome Paulie here. So Gumbro's going to have his hands quite full in just a lap or so's time Looks like Awesome Paulie's putting in a pretty quick time. So let's see what Gumbro can do with the tools at his disposal as we go across the line to start lap number 9. Garcia still leading incredibly by 9 seconds. He'll be lapping the field twice or 3 times almost before we even see the checkered flag. Well, Gumbro, a little bit of mid-corner correction. And there you go. That's just a position for Awesome Paulie in the bag. Let's see if we can't ascertain what happened. So keep a close eye on the black and green Ferrari as we get through turn 2. Coming into the apex of 3, there was a slight correction. Yeah, there it was. So I think he just lost the back end. He's held it together. He didn't hit the wall or anything. So Gumbro's still in this race. So here we go. Look at this. Look at this racing now. As Catch has to start thinking of defending Herc, it's actually pulled Gel Speed back into this battle, and it's allowing Falcon 0 distance. Because all Falcon has to do is think about his braking markers and his apexes. And I don't think it's going to be before too long before we see Snake in 8th join this. So the battle for 5, for 5, who says that? Battle for 5th will involve 3, maybe 4 cars in just a moment's time. Licensed spec vehicles, Raz. Can you elaborate what you mean by licensed? Here we go for Herc. Oh, he does some great defending, and Gel Speed, like a rash, all over the back of Herc. He's not going anywhere at the moment. Still can't find the exploit. Herc's doing an exceptional job of his defense. He's going to try the inside here. Gel Speed might get this, but there could be the switch maneuver. He's slow on exit, and you can see that really hurt Herc's exit, and Gel Speed's away. Great tactic. And for Gel Speed, how long can he hold it up? No, you're good, Raz. Yes, this is what you would call very realistic. So this is following exactly the specifications and the configurations of real world. So that includes the balance of performance, aka if you're not, for those who aren't aware, that you might hear the word BOP put out a lot. That just stands for balance of performance, and that tries to equalize things across different cars at least. So whatever they've got it set at in the real world is what these cars are set to. But yes, bring in those questions. I'm here to answer them as well as cast and commentate today's action. So I hope you've enjoyed what we've seen so far. My name is Josh, so welcome and hello. Good to see you, good to meet you. If you want to join our Discord, d1gdiscord.com. You don't need to remember a pesky invite code. Just go to d1gdiscord.com. And that is all because of our supporters today that have supported us so far over buymeacoffee.com/demo1garage. That's the best place to support us. But that it also includes Facebook stars, super chats, and we're not monetized on Twitch because they stop you from streaming everywhere. So we haven't accepted the affiliate or whatever they send out partnership thing. But yeah, the improvements you see all around the stream and the channel and the website, that's all thanks to you guys. So thank you for that. You're making sim racing at the grassroots more accessible, and professional casting, because I do it for free for everybody, more available as well. So thank you. If you like sim racing, you're definitely in the right place. This is Catch. Still hasn't been able to put any considerable dent in the gap between him and Mr. Falcon Zero, but he does have his eyes set on the car behind. His teammate Gel Speed They're from the same group, Rockefeller Racing. That's what RR stands for. There's no love lost between these two once they hit the track at least. Herc's lost a lot of time, and Snake is catching him. That's Snake there in that red and green Ferrari. Ferrari power versus Lexus power. Here we go. It's not going to catch him this lap, but give him a few more laps. He'll get there. Let's check in with the order as it runs at the moment. We've got 38 minutes left on the race clock. Can't believe we're almost to the halfway point of this race. So as you can see, Garcia, 12 laps in, 11.3 over Fafito. Fafito, another incredibly talented driver. We haven't seen much of them because they're so far out in front. And then it's boosted 250, or Rev boosted 250 there in third. He's in the other Bentley. Bentley's quite popular at the moment. People like them for their stability on corner exits. And then we got Mr. Falcon Zero. Oh, putting up a good fight with Catch here, who's almost parallel with him. But as the corner approaches, yeah, Catch just has to back out of it. There's no way two will fit through there. So that was the right move from Catch, the smart move. Otherwise, there would have been chaos and drama and a few tears, I'd imagine. So now, he didn't have quite the exit would have liked, and Gel Speed immediately pounces. It's a shame the camera's so close up here. We don't get much detail of what's happening. Oh, look at that. Wide one from Falcon Zero. He's going to lose 2 spots like that. So something happened mid-corner there for Falcon Zero. And all that hard work, gone. Here's the replay. Let's see if we can't see anything. No, it's too close. But you could see Gel Speed and Catch took the proper line, and very wide there. Lots of understeer for Falcon Zero. I wonder what caused that. I'm sure he'll be able to tell us later on. So great race forming here. We've got a good battle now for 4th as well. Gel Speed. Look at that. We're going to have 5 cars all lined up now. Catch is the leader. Oh, here we go. Get excited. Acqua Minerale. I think it's called that. Acqua Minerale. Speak a little bit of Italian, and I feel like that's something to do with a river or water. Definitely water. Minerals? Something it's... I'll have to figure that one out. That's turn 9s and 10. Here we go. Oh, Gel Speed's really trying to jump those curbs, isn't he? And he almost pushed Catch along. Just a bit of a, like, hurry up, mate. Hurry up, mineral water. That makes sense. Why is it called that, though? Why would it be called mineral water? I mean, that's not how you spell water, though. Like aqua. Anyway. I mean, it makes sense that it translates to that. So, how long can Catch deal with this? Catch has done some real-life racing himself. He's transitioned to the sim world after some injuries. But, yeah, Catch has definitely got that racer's mindset. He's doing a great job at the moment. He knows consistency is king. We heard Falcon Zero talk a lot about it in the interviews earlier on. And as you can see, Gel Speed now has got his work cut out for him because Falcon Zero is here to ruin his day. Yeah, which makes me think that there's a natural spring there. That's what makes me think that that's what that means. Puerto Rico E-Racing Club, PREC, welcome along. Thanks for liking the stream, guys. We've seen PREC race with us before. Falcon Zero lost a lot of time in that sector there. Gel Speed was able to pull away quite comfortably. Herc hasn't been able to catch up. Snake's just been on the back end of that. Gumbro now in 9th. Awesome Paulie's back behind him. So for Gumbro, something's going on there. We're going to be happy about that. They're a little far away from Herc though. So here we go. So pit windows open. 1 mandatory stop tonight. And we have Catch going in. We have Falcon Zero going in. Sharkbait, Arcangle, Apache is also in. Our race leader and our front 3 are still out on the track lapping. Well, that's a shame, Boletta. I'm sure that was just an oversight. So we'll talk to Snake and I'm sure he'll get that fixed for you. Unless that was his intention. I'm not too sure. Fafito here in 2nd still, 13 seconds away from Garcia, who is just absolutely flying. Elon Musk is calling. He wants to use your ability to get to Mars, because you'll get there very quick if it's Garcia piloting that rocket. Is he going to come in this lap at all? We're just getting to the halfway point of the race. No, he's going to continue on. So Garcia is happy with the way things are working. Falcon Zero just come out ahead of Catch there. There was a race in the pit lane. I wonder if Catch just had a slight bit of damage under fix, possibly. Or maybe he was just on the refueling pump just a little tad longer. There you can see that's Fafito. He's 2nd, and these guys are 10th. So these guys are about to get lapped by 2nd place. In saying so, Fafito does still need to take a pit stop. So Herc is in. So we're going to see his strategy start playing its role here today. Remember, Herc was behind both Catch and Falcon. So if Herc can get out ahead of them, he's gained some time using what is known as the overcut. Gumbro done his stop. And he's pretty clear at the moment. No one around him. We've got Catch last we saw 6/10 away from Falcon Zero. There's blue flags coming as well. So let's see how Fafito deals with this situation and how quickly he catches this group. They will be getting blue flags, but Fafito does need to make that pass clean. That's his responsibility. Yeah, Jamer just pointing out that our Catch made contact with Gel Speed a little earlier, and that was probably fixed in the pit stop. So that was probably how we saw Falcon jump Catch in the pit lane. Through Ravazza 2. So that's turn 15. There you go. So Fafito comes in. He knew he was going to lose time chasing these guys, so that was a smart call from the silver Ferrari. Catch at the moment just doing his very best to put the pressure on Falcon, because he knows 30 minutes is a long time to have to worry about defending a spot. So if Catch can just find a comfortable pace that is just pushing maybe Falcon just beyond his limits a little bit in the race conditions, Catch is going to be the victor of a lot of prizes. I've just noticed Herc's come out ahead, so whatever overcut strategy Herc was implementing, it's worked wonders. Remember, Herc was behind both of them. He went the extra lap, and look at that, Herc's ahead. So that's worked wonders for the Lexus. And already, massive gains happening out on track. We've got Fafito in. Oh, car out wide. Felipe coming in as well. Fafito just exiting. Snake's up to 4th. Snake must know that the overcut is super strong here at Imola. If Snake can, maybe catch up to Falcon, or Herc, that will be some laps well spent. So that's awesome, Paulie. In that Bentley there. That is also Gel Speed just ahead of him. Just trying to work out what's going on. So Gel Speed's third. So yes, Awesome Paulie is just got lapped there by Gel. So back up to this Falcon fight with Herc as well. Catch is going to turn into three ways. We had about 5 cars just before the pit window, which was amazing to see. So J-Mer, to the guys that didn't make it, what was your biggest struggle around Imola? What corners did you have to work on the most? What sector were you losing time in? I'd love to hear your stories. Obviously, all these drivers work very hard through the week to... So, just saw... That was Falcon Zero, just letting them through. I'm not sure what that was about. That was almost Team Order-esque. Like Lando Norris being told he can get past Ricciardo. So I don't know what Falcon Zero thinks he's holding them up or is a little bit slow. Oh, something's going on there. There must be maybe hardware issues. Maybe he was dealing with a wheel problem in real life. Herc is right up with him though. I don't know how Herc's lost his spot as well. So Catch has just benefited big time. And that gap, you could fit 5 Mack trucks in between them now. So Catch will be very pleased with the way that's worked out. There might have been a bit of contact between the two and they were just redressing the situation. J-Mer says the whole track I've never really raced Imola. Maybe have about an hour of total time here. But the last chicane is pretty brutal. Yeah, Ravazza. Those 90-degree left turns, I'll tell you what. If you get your entry wrong, you're absolutely screwed for the exit. Absolutely. Don't forget, you can join our Discord, d1gdiscord.com. That'll give you an invite as well if you're not a part of it. It's much easier to remember, d1gdiscord.com. J-Mo saying gets a lot of oversteer on exit through those corners. Through Aqua Minerale. I find Aqua Minerale quite difficult myself. I just think the change of elevation, the turn, where it is, just the sort of camber as well, just spits you out all sorts of weird positions. So I think once you start to nail, 11 and 12 there, 9 and 10, it's quite rewarding. Okay, Razor asked, is the bar between the car make and the name showing the engine temp? No, that is their connection quality with the server. So in this case, they want a lower color. Here we go, though, for Herc. He got a great exit out of the final corner, across the start-finish. He's going to be next to the AMG. Oh, and Falcon Zero finds himself in the beach. He didn't want to be there today, so he'll fall to 8th. Snake is putting the pressure on Catch now, so Snake made a lot of positions with his overcut. This man started at the back of the grid. He's now up into the top 6. Yeah, so if they've got a red bar, they're pretty... Yeah, their latency is pretty bad. If they've got a really nice small green bar, their connection is really good. So, yeah. The closer that color gets to red, the worse their connection. And the green that is next to their number is denoting a pit stop has been made. So it'll have a number of how many mandatory stops there are. So if they've got tonight they had to make 1. So we had the number 1 next to their name in that box. And then when they've done it, that will turn green. So mandatory stops are all done. They're all good to go. But they can obviously make more stops if they need to for damage or whatever the case might be. If it starts raining, they can make as many pit stops as they need. So this race, 23 minutes to go. It's been quite hectic through the middle part. The midfield have just been giving us entertainment all day, and it's not over yet. This is going to go right down to the final few laps, I'd say. For our leader, though, it's just a walk in the park, as Garcia, it's just empty track all around. Then Fafito, he's there in second place in that silver Ferrari. Rev Boosted holds third. Great camera work today, guys. And Gel Speed, he's up to fourth. I don't know how Gel Speed's done that, but through all the chaos and changes and strategies that happen, pit stops, Gel Speed's actually found himself up into fourth place. So whatever strategy Gel Speed's playing at today, it is working an absolute treat. Go, Gadget, go. So Catch doing a lot of defending. Well, not at the moment. He's got back marker between him and Snake. And Snake has got the pressure being put on by Herc in that Lexus there. So let's see who will crack first. Will it be Snake? Will it be Herc? Or will there be an untold story that will unfold in front of our very eyes? Something we couldn't even predict. That's the nature of motorsport sometimes. You couldn't even script some of the crazy stuff that happens. So, did anyone out there watch the Formula One on the weekend? Or anyone out there F1 fans? I know this is mostly a US audience, and F1's not the biggest sport over there, but it's starting to take traction, especially since Netflix has the Drive to Survive series. Oh yes, that's right, Jamer, you're not wrong. They had the GT3, GT4 race at Monza. I didn't get to watch that myself. So that wasn't them getting overtakes there, that was just a back marker getting out of the way. Gumbro's here in 10th still, just checking in for Greg. Looks like there's not much happening for Gumbro. But he's done his stop, and he's held his 10th position, so he'll be happy with that. Felipe there, 11th. Archangel Apache. Then it's Shockbait and Mile Blue. But it is 7th and 6th at the moment. That has our eyes focused intently on the action ahead of us. And who will win this duel? Battle at Imola. J-Mer says, it was a good one. GT3 made all 40 cars through turn 1. Well, that's good. But GT4 was a different story. Well, we might have to... Was that streamed on YouTube? Because I think I see those streams. I might have to go watch the replay of that. Don't know about you guys. Don't mind myself a bit of GT racing. Yes, the GT Challenge. Yes, well, I will have to go watch them on YouTube. So we just saw Herc offline there a little. It's going to lose him a lot of time to Snake. And that was what we heard Falcon talking about a lot in the interviews, was consistency. Herc's had a great race. Don't want to put him down or anything, but yeah, it is little things like that in racing which can make all the difference. Someone's gone off there. There was definitely dust brought up, gravel. I don't know if that was a back marker once again, because Catch is 7 seconds up the road. Sorry, 2.8 seconds up the road. And Catch, how did these guys lose so much time to Gel Speed? Gel Speed made just bucket loads of time. I would like to know his secret. this is catch here. So that's the gap, as you can visually see it. Just saw Snake coming over the crest of that hill. Can we see Snake in the frame there? There he is, just there. So that's what about 2.5 seconds looks like. Yeah, 2.8 at the moment. And looking at the way things are going now, I think Snake might actually take a bite at catch just before we see that checkered flag. And Herc, all things going well, what Herc needs to do now is just work with Snake here a little bit. There's still time, 18 minutes. We're not at desperate moments yet. But just allow Snake and Herc to catch. Because if he starts pressuring Snake too much, obviously Snake's going to want to defend their position. That'll slow both of them down. Allow catch to open up the gap. And already it's just opening. But if they can work together, possibly they will close that gap on him. And then they can take a few bites in the final couple of minutes. So there's still plenty of time for them to do that. 17 minutes on that clock. But I know how consistent this driver is. So it's going to be a very difficult task. They've got to be just a little bit better than Catch is himself. So tall order. Let's see what these guys are made of. We've got a fun time ahead on, that's for sure. Jay Burn says there was an Alpina, Alpine that got wrecked. It's T1. Is that how you? Like obviously when I read Alpine, I read it as Alpine, but everyone says Alpine, so I'm guessing that's the correct pronunciation. I always called it the Alpine until someone said Alpine one day, and I was like, is that how you say it? So that was news to me. Absolute news to me. Herc's keeping a close distance to Snake here. He's not really putting him in any pressure, so maybe he is just trying to work with him a little. This is Falcon 0 here. Something happened to Falcon just after the halfway point, after he stopped, because he was lapping just as quick, but I think there might have been some real-world hardware issues. I'm not quite sure. Awesome Paulie in the 46. We saw him with SFR as well on Monday. He's down there in 9th. Felipe. Just there. Looks like Gumbro's had it off, because there was some scratches on the front of that man's front splitter. There it is. Oh, it's an Alpina. Okay, there you go. Sorry, I thought that was a... what do you call it? A spelling mistake. I take that back, sir. I take that back. So, if I had to pick a driver of the day, it'd be hard to go past Snake, having started way back down the back like he has. But I also, Gel Speed's got connection issues here. Look at that red bar. Hopefully he doesn't. This is usually... Now what could... Now, there's a theory going around that if you set up a pit window on the server, it actually makes the server more susceptible to dropping and disconnecting. I've just seen Fafito's connection go all the way to red. I'm a bit scared the server's about to drop everyone. So, fingers crossed nothing happens. We're so close to the end here. It just needs to hold out just a little bit longer. But this is also one of those other things that I consistently complain about. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing it. But come on, ACC. PC, guys. We know the PC's your main focus. But if you're going to allow them to release it on console, there should be some standards. Just basic standards. It should be exactly the same as the PC game, not different. Driving is the same, but The experience is completely different. Oh, Snakes just had it off. So he loses that position to Herc there. That's a bit of a shame. He was having a good day as well. J-Mer says they're usually red, so I hope you're correct. I do hope that, well, I believe you. I just hope that is the case and not something nefarious happening behind the scenes and the IP protocols and the server side, whatever else is going on. So quick check up again. We'll go through the full order now. We've got Garcia here in first place. 11 seconds over Fafito, who's doing a stand-up job himself. Rev Boosted held third as well. So these top three, they haven't really changed through the majority of this race. Gel Speed somehow jumped out in fourth after the first of his stops. Catch has maintained fifth as well. Herc's there in sixth. Snake just lost six to Herc with a small mistake, so he's in seventh. Falcon also had something happen just after the stops as well. We're not quite sure on the details, but he's down in 8th place. Awesome Paulie up to 9th in the Bentley. Having a pretty solid day. Felipe, we haven't seen much of him, but he's in the top 10. So nothing to cry about there. Gumbro, looks like he had an off somewhere. He's down to 11th. And we know Greg's cheering him on, so we wish him the best. Archangel, another driver we haven't seen too much of, but driving the Aston. I do like the look of that car. Shark Bait as well. 13th. And Mile Blue. A little wide there, I think. Just getting out of the way of the leader. He's currently 14th. So, everyone out there having a bit of fun today. Doing their best. Shark has really put that Ferrari through its paces off-road. Looks like Falcon Zero might actually, a little bit of hope just yet. He might be able to take 7th off him. So let's see what happens here between these two. A little bit of motivator now for Falcon. Snake's well within reaching distance. Let's see if he can keep him there as well. No, those guys in Puerto Rico. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about Puerto Rico being not the best. It's a wonder sometimes how successful Puerto Rican drivers can be, even with their connection issues. So obviously there's talented drivers out there. I'll tell you what. I think it makes the... We had a similar issue in Australia. I just noticed Snake's behind Falcon Zero. I don't know when that happened. This is what happens. I start looking away for things. Falcon Zero had to give that spot back. And Snake's ahead. But yeah, early 2000s, not 90s. 2000. For Australian gamers, especially FPS games, first-person shooters online, we had some dodgy internet as well. And obviously, there was a lot of internet-based competitions. And for Australians, they had to obviously account for that latency. So there was quite this this skill level that people from the States and such didn't really possess, because their connection, was almost real time, where if you were in Australia, you had to account for that. So you were thinking 200 milliseconds faster ahead. You were thinking, in the future. So that sort of presented the player with a unique skill that they built up over time. And I'm sure that's similar to what happens with Puerto Rican drivers in sim racing. They got to think more into the future than most other people. So, I mean, it sucks, but in a way, maybe it makes you a little bit of a better driver. Who knows? Falcon Zero just having a little bit of an off time there. Awesome Paulie. Saw it all unfold, and his motivation markers would have just popped up a little bit. So maybe he can catch the Falcon Snake. Opens the gap to 5.6 though. And I don't want to pressure him into a mistake himself. I think commentators' curses are real. But with 8 minutes to go, it's going to be a pretty bad mistake to lose it from there. So this is catch now. He's slowly gaining on his teammate Gel Speed. That interval, last time it updated, was 1.8. I'm going to say it's a little bit better than that now. So Gel Speed in some real trouble. I wonder if there's some fuel saving going on for Gel. Like big fuel saving. So 1.74. Not as much as I thought. But Gel Speed, he's going to be caught here in the final 8 minutes. I'm sure of it. And he's going to defend hard. Gel Speed does not like to give up his spots. So he's going to work very, very, very hard to hold away his teammate. No love lost, like I said, once they get on the track. That's for sure. Roses, welcome, mate. Don't be sorry, dude. It happens. We've all got lives. You know what's funny, Roses? Obviously, you're one of my few. I don't have as big a following on Twitch. It's just what it is. But obviously, Roses, you can talk to everyone because you can see the other chat right on screen. And I don't know if anyone here is familiar with Harris Heller. Some of you might have heard of him. He's he was a Twitch streamer. Variety streamer, I call it. He'd also did a lot of... He has the Alpha Gaming channel on YouTube. And he does stream beats and stuff for those people that are familiar with that, like free music for when you're streaming. Anyway, he's gone from Twitch to YouTube because he says, obviously, his partnership with Twitch ended. And he's like... He has all these other excuses of why. But he's gone YouTube, right? Why doesn't he just stream on YouTube and Twitch? He's already got an audience on Twitch. Yeah, he might not make bits and money there. But if you've got, I don't know, a couple of 100,000 people that watch you on Twitch, and how many people on YouTube, whatever it is, just stream on both. But he thinks it splits the audience. And I've got people watching on Facebook. I've got people watching on YouTube. And I've got people on Twitch. Which is why I was talking about you, Roses. Obviously, the Twitch chat, there's nothing going on. But you can still interact with the Facebook and YouTube followers. I don't understand how that splits up an audience. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. What would I know? But I don't think it does. But if you do want to become part of the... or if you do want to get, involved more in the community, d1gdiscord.com. That's your invite link to our Discord. And if you already are part of our Discord, it'll just load Discord up for you straight away, which is nice. So it's a quick shortcut to Discord for those that are already there. And if you need to invite anyone, d1gdiscord.com. Just give them that link. So we'd love to have you along. See, Roses says it doesn't really split anything. Raz says maybe it splits his winnings. I mean, I can see what... Yeah, but I don't know. Like if he's, pushing people to go to Patreon or something, but he's missing out. He's completely just... Because there's a lot of people on Twitch, right, that don't really watch live streams on YouTube or watch live streams anywhere else. They watch them on Twitch. And they're on Twitch a lot. It's just what the Twitch audience is. So there's going to be people that like him, but just won't watch him now because he's on YouTube. Whereas if he just multi-streamed, he would still get them. And like he sells... I mean, he'd have other revenue streams like merchandise or whatever else it is. So, yeah, it's just bizarre that he thinks that it would split the community up so much. But here I've got a Twitch user, Roses, who says it doesn't really split anything. And I tend to agree. I tend to agree 100%. I've never really had anyone complain that I stream in 3 places. In fact, it's nice to know there's a backup somewhere. Yep, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube and Twitch, and that is purely so you guys can watch on your favorite platform, because I know people prefer to watch in certain places. So thank you, Raz. Yeah, this race is sort of quieting down now towards the end, but that's why I'm here. I am a streamer of sorts, and I'm here to engage with you guys as well, as long as tell the story of what's happening out on track and hopefully keep you entertained. So I hope you've enjoyed your time as much as I have as well. Paulie's up to 6th place, ahead of Snake and Falcon Zero. Paulie having a great time. Catch. Oh, Catch has had an off. Big time off. I'm afraid we missed that, but something big has happened to the man in the 47 Ferrari, because his car looks worse for wear. We are almost 2.5 minutes from the end. Can he hold out? J-Mer says Twitch is nice because you can put the stream in the corner and do other stuff still. That's what Twitch streamers do. Twitch users do. They're what you'd call they're like super users. That's just the nature of most of the audience that are on Twitch. They're super users. Just like you're saying, J-Mer. You can do other things. So, yeah. It's interesting. Something I sat there watching his video. I was like, "What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?" Like, there's a few things that he talks about that I'm like, "Oh, it's a good idea." That one I thought was bizarre. Anyway, that's what I think about that. But back to the sim racing. 32 laps elapsed. Garcia. Surely this is the last lap. Come across the start-finish line now.
All right, man. The leader is on the final lap.
There it is.
Final push.
So this is it for today. Don't forget, we've got some interviews after the race. So hang around. We're going to have a chat with our podium and whoever else pops in. And don't forget as well, we've got another race tonight. 7:55 p.m. That's Brisbane time. We've got the GT4 race with Go2Woe. So if you're able to watch that with us, make sure you join us for that then. The stream's already scheduled on YouTube and Facebook, so you can go convert them to your local time if you need to. But we're on the final lap of this one. A little bit of a wide angle exit for Gel. It's not going to allow Catch to close the gap like you would have liked. Awesome Paulie stays ahead of Snake and Falcon Zero for the moment. There's Herc down in 9th place. So some of those guys got really hurt somewhere with some accidents that we saw off camera, unfortunately. Gumbro's there in 11th. He's been hovering around 10th and 11th all day. So let's see. So just remember, Gumbro, look back on this in about 6 or 8 weeks' time. I'm sure there'll be some massive improvement. That goes with the same with Sharkbait and Mile Blue. Obviously, JSM will get them up to speed and improve their abilities. But I think this is it for Garcia. This comes through the final corner. And that's it. Checkered flag waves. The hard work is done. He'll win today's event.
The leader has finished the race.
Congratulations to Garcia. It'll be Fafito next across. Well-deserved second place for him. Didn't have to work too hard because there wasn't much competition. But he still had to put in those consistent lap times, and he's done that. Boosted a little bit closer by the end, but third place for him. And gel speed, that looked like a bit of a small error there. Is gel speed okay? Catch is still not there. So here we go, Gel Speed. Don't know how Gel Speed did what he did today. I think there might have been some fuel saving. But what a run. Started, I think it was 8th or 9th. He's up to 4th place at the end. He'll be very pleased with that result. And then we have Rockefeller Racing catch. He started 6th. He goes to 5th by the end of this one. We actually started 5th because we had a dropout. So he started where he finished today. Awesome, Paulie. Those last 8 or so minutes were a pure gift. And he will take 6th place, just ahead of Snake. Something happened to Snake. Again, we didn't quite see what happened. But he'll take 7th. And then Falcon Zero. Something went really wrong for Falcon Zero at some point. He's got Herc. Not too far behind him, in fact. Or at least that something happened to Herc because that last interval was wrong. But anyway, Herc will be behind Falcon Zero here, who takes the checkered for 8th. 9th place for Herc, and it will be Felipe top 10. But this man, Garcia, he takes the win. Don't forget, we got interviews. Race, welcome. Hello. You're a Prime member. Welcome, mate. Motherfucker! So that's the end of the 60-minute sprint. We're going to have a chat to our podium. So hang around. If you got any questions as well, please send them in. Let us know who your driver of the day was. I'd love to know who you thought takes that title. I'll have to set up a proper interview scene in the future. So, excuse my low effort interview scene, but we'll fix that. So who we got here? Interview room. I can hear it. I can't see it. Oh no, we're listening to them on the game.
Qué carrera más aburrida. Súper aburrida la carrera.
Pero está bien, qué buen trabajo de
¿Estás viendo? Yo no sé, ese tipo para mí que estaba trampeado al principio. Él me sacó, en las primeras vueltas tú tienes las gomas súper frías y él me sacó 6 segundos en las primeras 2 vueltas.
La carrera no fue aburrida, ¿no? Eso se lo puedo yo asegurar que no fue aburrido.
They're talking in game, guys.
Good job, good job. Hey, Catch, how you doing, bro?
Hey man, good race, Joe.
Thank you. Yeah, coming from the last place, it was a great one.
Yeah, I was coming for you, bro, and then I went into a wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what happened. I was actually waiting for you.
Hello, guys.
Yeah.
They're just talking in game, so
Congratulations, man. Good job,
Just
and
gonna
everybody
mute them
else
in a
too. Some good drivers up front, man. I was struggling with my setup. I didn't have like a really good setup at all. So yeah, that was tough. Yeah. So.
Actually,
good
I was
job,
struggling on the quali.
Yeah, I could normally run 42s here, like mid to low 42s, and I couldn't come near that today. It was fun, man. It was fun. That's all that matters. So, all right, I'm gonna get out of here, but congratulations again to everybody.
looks like they're wrapping it up, guys. We've got the interviews now. If they stop talking, because I can't mute. Done that glitchy thing again. All right, I think they're good. So who we got? We've got Snake. Oh, Blue Cheese is left. Snake.
We have Snake, we have Garcia,
Guys, congratulations and see you later.
Congrats, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. Started last. Nice, been a fun ride through the field.
Oh, I mean, it definitely was. I kind of went for the opportunistic type of racing. You know, just kind of. Obviously, that first lap there was some form of collision. I don't know what happened. Look at the replay, and just kind of was just going through and seeing whatever mistakes I could capitalize on. It's not an easy track to. That's for sure. And one thing about that track for sure is that you have to. But at the same time, if you hit too much or you hit it at the wrong angle, it'll send you flying. And the second half of the race, I was on my U set, and I had an incident where I went over the curb a little too hard, forced my left rear to be a lot lower than it should be. But overall, you know, I was pretty happy with the race and how it turned out.
That's good. Garcia's here.
Yes, I am.
All right. First place for you. Like how?
Yeah.
How did you get such a big gap? Like, what's your secret?
Really, so the fact that I was able to to establish a gap, a decent gap in the beginning of the race, just gave me that opportunity. Just gave me the opportunity to get comfortable, get on a good pace, and not be worried about having someone right behind me. So that when that happens, at least for me, things become easy because then you can just have your good flow and just have a good pace.
Hang on. Well, that's good. Was there anything you had to do differently to maintain that pace today than normal, or was it just, you know, what I do every day?
One thing that I kept an eye on that to me is always important is when the pit window opens, you want to keep an eye on the traffic around the track.
Yep.
And make sure you time your pit stop right where you don't get any traffic. And I think things worked out pretty well for me today. I didn't have any traffic. By the time I got to one car, they were going to the pit, and by the time I got to another car, I was going to the pit. When I came out, I didn't have anyone in front of me, so that contributed a lot.
As the leader and just working by yourself, how do you work that out? Is there a formula, or are you just, you know, do you look at intervals? How do you do that?
So today I can't look at intervals. Today I was just basically looking at the map. I have the whole track map on my screen.
Yep.
I was just seeing who was in front of me and what the visual gap on that map was, and I think that worked out. If things were a little bit closer, I would probably look at the time difference. Just today, I didn't feel like I needed it.
It worked perfectly for me, man. So congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And then
yeah,
it was the man chasing you all race. Fafito, what a race for you, man. How come you couldn't... What was the big obstacle between you and Garcia up the front? Why couldn't you catch him today?
I don't know. Just in the first two laps, he got me like 7 seconds ahead. And I couldn't improve my pace in the whole race. I was like consistently doing 144.2, and he was like almost a second faster each lap. I couldn't catch him or battle with him.
Do you know what sector where he was better? Have you been able to ascertain that?
No, I don't know specifically what sector I could improve either. I don't know. I was like doing my best times that I have practiced, so I couldn't improve anything at all.
So your race pace, obviously you'd like to just get it a little bit faster. Is that what I'm hearing? It was still quick though, but obviously.
Yeah. By far.
Do you know where you have to? Is there anything you have to change to get that? Do you have that worked out already?
Maybe the setup. I will guess. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
Are you one of the? Are you a setup nerd that spends a lot of time on those things? Because there's some guys out there that are just geniuses with the setups.
Not too much. I maybe look at some videos at YouTube or something and start tweaking some settings from there.
Oh well, we'll have to wait and see what comes from the future. Maybe the JSM guys will have a secret to share. I don't know. But,
yeah.
But yeah, well done, mate. Ferrari in second. I mean, there wasn't much around you today, so it was just about keeping it consistent, I'd imagine.
Yeah, the Ferrari is hard in the curves, I guess. I think that the Bentley is much easier in the curves.
Yeah, that's what they all say. They say people like using the Bentley just because of the way it attacks and exits curbs. So doesn't matter. You put them to shame at the ones behind you at least, because you did it in the Ferrari today. So well done.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Boosted. Hello and welcome. How was your race today? Is he here?
No, it's not Boosted. It's actually Paulie. We have awesome Paulie, Falcon.
Oh, we got awesome Paulie. How was your race, mate?
Yeah.
Talk us through it.
I got screwed up right off the bat, but I ended up pulling through. For some reason, right off the start, it portaled me right into the pit, so I had to start last. I qualified third. I qualified third, so it was a big hit. But I came through the pack and made it all the way up to sixth. So had a pretty good race after that.
Yeah, Raz just asked, do we have anyone who crashed and caught up? Pretty much that's what you did today. There was a lot of pack getting through the pack. What happened at the end there? I missed it. All of a sudden you were behind, I think, Snake and Falcon, and
I spun out.
Yeah,
I didn't necessarily. Yeah, I went off track. I definitely I mishandled the car a little bit. So, with the track re-entry protocol, he was closing in. I had to let him go.
Fair enough.
Pick up the spot, but I think we would have been battling for that spot anyway if I did.
Yeah,
my tires were
we would have
ready to do that.
So, I mean, it was a great result considering where you started. Was there any big learning lessons from today's race that you're can take with you from here on in?
Yeah, make sure I hit the start button to start the race instead of portaling into the pit.
That's exactly the same thing that happened to Catch actually on Monday with his league race. He forgot to I think he was mucking around with pressures or something, and
his tire pressures.
Yeah, and then that damn drive button got him. So it happens to the best of us. I think it absolutely does. All right.
Yeah, it does.
Well, I mean, great result considering the situation. So you got to be pretty happy with that, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely happy with it. I mean, the rest of the race went pretty good. I had a couple offs that came back real good from. I didn't have any real crashes or anything like that. So I'm pretty happy with the race.
Good. I mean, I was too. Hopefully you'll be up there not too long giving Garcia his run for his money and Fafito and all that, because I know you've got the pace.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm striving for. I'm trying to keep up with them guys.
Oh well, you just hit drive next time. That's oh. Well, well done at least, mate, and thanks for having a quick chat.
Thank you.
And then it is Mr. Falcon.
Oh no,
there's a lot going on for you today.
Were you watching any of that?
I was watching most of it.
Oh man!
But yeah, at the end there was just a few issues. I don't know what happened with what was going on at the end there. Just a few things caught you out.
At the end, I started getting a little distracted. My mind was wandering. I started thinking about my fuel. I changed my fuel map. I just started getting sloppy, I guess. And I think I was overthinking some of the turns. and yeah, I took that second chicane really bad. I drove off at whatever Ravazzi 1 or whatever it's called,
Yep.
and yeah, I'm proud that I had a good first half of the race. I was fourth place for a little while.
Yeah, you were right up there, giving them hell, so to speak.
Yeah, I came out the gate pretty good, and I maybe I need to think more about pit strategies because when the pit window opened, I just went right on in. I just like I don't want to think about it, and then I need to calculate my fuel better too. I think I would have been a lot more comfortable with a few more liters, and playing it safe and not having to worry about that at the end.
So, what was going on? You said at the end you were just losing focus slightly. What's it like having to defend a line of cars almost 5 deep behind you? Like, were you slowing? Was your pace slowing down because of it, or do you drive faster? How were you dealing with that pressure in the early stages?
Yeah, in the first part of the race.
Yeah.
I was just trying to hold it together and keep doing consistent laps, and I kept noticing the delta being green a lot, so I thought, okay, I must be doing something well, and I had Catch behind me for a while, and I just thought, well, I'm just not gonna slow down for him. I'm gonna keep the line that I'm doing until I make some kind of mistake, and I honestly can't remember if he passed me or not before I did my pit stop. And so I just kind of just held him off and just tried to. I did a really good job of staying focused. I think after the pit stop, I just kind of lost it mentally.
Yeah.
And my mind started drifting.
I think there was a moment. It was after the pit stop. If I remember correctly, it looked like you let people by. Was something going on?
Yeah. If I get in my head a little bit too much, I'll just let somebody by if I feel like they just keep getting closer and closer, and I'll tend to my eyes will look in the rearview mirror and notice that, oh no, am I slowing? Or am I going too slow at these apexes and they're about to hit me? And then I'll just let somebody by. Like I let Paulie by without question. I was like, just go, dude. I had just put it into fuel map 2. I was thinking about the fuel, and I was like, I'm going to take a couple laps a little bit slow, and drift to try and save fuel, or coast or whatever, and stay off the gas. So I thought I was going to go a little slow, so I thought I'd just let him by.
So it was a move of self-preservation more than anything else.
Yep.
It's an interesting tactic. Yep. I'll hopefully hopefully JSM can I don't know introduce some mongrel into you and you'll be a little bit more on the defensive.
Eventually. I'd like to make the way I treated the first half of the race like the whole race. So maybe I'll get there.
Snake, can you help him get there?
Oh, we're gonna try, But he made a really. It's funny. He mentioned something that was actually, I think it was actually a pretty smart move of him, on behalf to slow down, because one thing we talk about a lot when you're racing, the comfort level, because race, and every, it's brake, gear, gas, like that, and you have to know when you're pushing, when you're overdriving, sometimes what you do is to let somebody by, because the last thing you want to do is start overdriving. Next thing you know, you take a corner the wrong way, you're nervous or whatever, and it's in any sport, it's always good moment yourself. And yeah, racing is definitely something where time is a factor, and you don't necessarily want to do that, but at the end of the day, it's about finishing the race. Also, you got to make sure that what you got to do. One accident could have probably put him in the pit, and that would.
That's true. Just quickly, Falcon, got one of the viewers. Just a quick question. I think we mentioned. I think we pretty much covered it, but he's just asked, how was your mentality coming back to the race? I guess, yeah. How did you approach that? In the pit, not, that was awesome, Paulie. But after the pit stops, everyone on your backside, putting the pressure on. Yeah, your mentality attacking that.
I was just trying to keep the same pace I had in the first half, and I feel like right after I got out of the pits, I feel like I had a pretty good pace. But yeah, having the pressure behind me, I think, did get to me, and that's when I started making some mistakes and having to had to let some people by.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of snowballed.
Yes.
For me.
Yeah, that's the way things go sometimes, unfortunately. But yeah, Snake, like you said, you had a great race coming through the field. But end of the day, it was a lot of fun for, I think, everyone out there.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I was up for the challenge of starting from the back. It was definitely a lot of fun. But I didn't quite get to where I wanted to or where I thought I could have. But I felt like in that race there was a constant barrage of either people coming up or people I could catch. I was gunning for catch at one point because we were right there neck and neck when I left the pit. And actually, very, very smart driving on his behalf because we were pretty close when I came out of the pit, but both luckily good braking corner. I was trying to catch him, but that left tire definitely was the second half of the race. But that's part of the whole preparation. Tires for the free practice on the tire set. And Garcia, I mean, wants to give his input. Actually, had some side on, especially the tire set stuff. You want to bring that up?
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Snake. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
What was that again?
If you had a moment to talk about the race preparation, with the limited tire sets and how you practice.
Oh, yeah. So it's interesting with the limited tire set, and what I usually do, not just because of the limited tire set, but for any race, pretty much, there's two steps on my preparation. One is you want to get your track lines, your braking points, and your car setup. That's beforehand, and that's most likely I do it by myself, and then I do trial runs. But and the day of the race, or doing the free practice, to be more precise, at that point, I'm not interested in doing that anymore. I don't have to push anymore because hopefully I have everything dialed in. So at that point, I'm usually more interested in, are my tire pressures where I want them to be? Maybe see if because of the track temperature, I need to adjust some things, brake balance, for example. So with that, on the free practice, 20-30 minute stop should be enough for that. So I don't have to use many sets of tires for practice there, and I don't have to over practice, let's put it this way, and start the race maybe in a different mindset. My mindset's more okay. The preparation is done, just the final adjustments over here, and let's go to the race and see what happens.
I've just had someone say, "Wow, it's a complete science." So there's what you just explained. There's a hell of a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, it can be for some tracks, but I usually have my baseline setup well adjusted for each track. So every time I have to do minor adjustments, if it's one track that I haven't driven in a long time, I'll just need some more time. But it's not too much work. So I think I got it in a good spot.
I hope so. It sounds like it's a well-refined routine. How did you learn all that? Like, is it just through doing and trial and error?
I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to get better prepared. I watch some of the streams from the more skilled guys like Baggy and some of the other guys. So I try to learn from whoever's faster or more consistent than me, and then obviously you try some things, try different styles, try different preparation programs, and then this is what I feel like with the amount of time that I have available to play the game.
Yep.
Works best for me.
And continuing on with that, Snake, obviously JSM wants to teach people. Is that how the group's going to approach education in racing? Obviously mentoring and stuff makes a role, but you know, videos, I don't know, documents, I don't know, is that stuff sorted out yet?
Yeah, actually, for the most part, we provide a lot of content, valuable resources. We have track guides, track maps. We have tutorials on things from tire presses all the way to when to brake on turn one. There's videos on pretty much every possible. We also have a little Racecraft 101 section where I or some other guys will videos on little things, you know, about car control and so on. So that way we don't have to necessarily take time, you know, because the one-on-one is not necessarily very easy to do. Yep. And we do have something coming that we will announce at some point that will revolve around one-on-one. But we do want to keep that one a little quiet for right now, but I can say that it'll be that a lot of people would like. So definitely a lot of things coming. You know, we've been slowly integrating changes that we're prepping guys for, like our championship stuff. That's why we have, you know, the Blancpain rules. We're doing our first endurance Sunday just to get guys used to it, you know, because that's part of the learning, making sure everybody's, you know, our rules section has a full breakdown on every as well. And I think over the next couple of weeks with all the new guys coming of different driver types, we're seeing a lot of improvement. I know, for instance, Kirk, he's not in the room right now, but I know last week we were talking, but, you know, he had a tough race. He came back, and I was chasing, you know, last week I was probably seconds ahead of him. Today, I was half a second behind him, you know, and not able to catch him. So pushing as hard as I was.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen the improvement, and we've seen a lot of guys utilize a lot of the things on there. And I wish I made all the content, but at least I know that the people I got it from are Driver 61, for example, Coach Dave Academy stuff on there. And these drivers are all great places to get content. And it's free.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you want to get that, the JSM Discord, I'll get you guys the link. And if you're part of my Discord, I'm sure Snake share it again in one of the chat rooms. But have you guys got anything else you'd like to add before we end today's stream?
Just if anyone's looking to participate in the championship, our evaluation starts, I believe, May 4th. There will be other opportunities to enter. You just have to log into the Discord at least a couple of races with us. We do want to make the group that's out there have some, but everyone is welcome. It's not going to be the only one to do, so they can't. We'll still be doing the event. There'll be lots of opportunities.
Lots of opportunity. Sorry, you're just breaking up. But yeah, I think we heard that last bit. Yeah, so JSM's the name, and we'll get you hooked up. If not, just ask me, and I'll show you the way. But thanks for putting on such a great show, everyone, today. Thanks for having a chat as well. And I can't wait to see what kind of races we get in the future.
Yeah. We'll see you next week then.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Josh.
No worries, guys.
Thank you.
And to everyone that's still hanging around, thank you. Thank you. Don't forget d1gdiscord.com and demo1garage.com. But that's it. My name's Josh. Hope you enjoyed your race. That was the JSM, guys. We'll talk tonight. Actually, I've got another race. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.